Generales en cualquier momento. 1.800 posee algunos otros 5633 y 4235. 1.800.
That's all right, don't worry.
And which way did it can?
I never let mine into Hey, Truman, don't throw all the money up to my house. I'm not made of stone. This camp was a nightmare. They fed us gruel. They forced us to make wallets for export, and one...
is proud to next present the lovely Adila, who will be dancing a dance with a scimitar, which is a type of sword. This dance exemplifies the Arab fascination with the art of balance. Following Adila will be Celestine, who is dancing a cabaret number that you would find in any of the modern nightclubs of Egypt.
Hello, Ronaldo. That's all right. That's all right. I couldn't answer the phone because the phone was in the bottom of my pocket, and but I couldn't get it out fast enough because I've been accumulating all these papers. You know, they give you these folletos, and I couldn't reach it fast enough. That's all right. I'm by the entrance on the north. Let's see. Wait, I'm by the south where there's a sign that it says southwest. No. Correction. Northeast 2nd Avenue. There's a. Okay, on the. Okay, I see that. Wait, hold on.
Here and ask them. Where is it? Mom, it says. It says Verano.
Could you say a few words for WIOD, whatever the name is there?
I didn't know that you were filming.
There we go. Say a few words to the American, to people from Utica who are freezing.
Look, I am your father.
Which is influenced by cumbia from Ecuador, and then we're going to take a short break.
Super pollo. I got a super pollo. Here, I'm gonna walk. You're not supposed to walk with a camera. Wait, hold on. They got this, it says, hola, soy Jorge, pasa. There's a like I don't know what kind of statue you call this. It's a funny looking statue. There's one here. I'm Larry Cohen, here in front of the house of Elion Gonzalez, a little boy who, against his wishes and against the wishes of his family, was whisked away in the middle of the night by American armed forces and taken at gunpoint back to his country of Cuba, against his wishes and against the wishes of his family living here in Miami. In my view, this was a total abuse of governmental power under the Clinton administration. We cannot afford to go back to those days. We must, as Americans, keep in mind that this mother of a little boy died at sea trying to bring her son to a country of the land of the free and the home of the brave. I ask, what was so brave about armed military militia forces taking a little boy away in the middle of the night? This will never be forgotten, and we should not forget this. As Americans, as voters, and as taxpayers, our dollars were used to take a little boy away from his family and take him back to a dictatorship, a totalitarian government in Cuba. Eventually, the totalitarian government will fail. Eventually, the government will fall. And eventually, I hope, we remember what took place on that fateful day in April of the year 2001.
necessarily be a revolution, but it's a huge victory for millions of cell phone users across the United States. The Federal Communications Commission is allowing consumers to switch their home phone numbers to their cell phones. CNN's Chris Huntington is joining us now live with details of the fine print of all of this. Chris?
Well, Wolf, the intention of the new rule is to help us seamlessly take a number wherever we want to go with whichever carrier we choose. The FCC's goal was to help us cut the cord with our hardline local carriers and give us more options for cell phone service.
If you're confused by the dizzying array of home and cell phone deals that are currently available, just wait until November 24th. That's when most U.S. phone customers will be free to take their home or current cell phone numbers to any wireless provider they choose. It's called wireless number portability, and telephone industry analysts believe it will so heat up the competition between wireless carriers that they'll be forced to offer a whole new level of customer service.
For consumers, this is a great idea. I think that you're going to see consumers going into their providers and saying, okay, what's the deal? You want to keep me? What are you offering? You want me to go to you? What are you offering? The bad news is mainly for the wireless providers, because they need to go after a consumer that now has much more bargaining power.
Heavy cell phone users will have the most leverage and should be able to push carriers for discounts, rebates, free phones, and added minutes. The carriers are bracing for a flood of changeovers. Industry studies predict that close to half of the more than 150 million cell phone accounts currently in use will switch to new carriers within the next year. That's nearly twice the current churn rate. Most of the big wireless and local phone companies initially fought number portability, particularly the FCC's November deadline, because of expensive system upgrades needed to handle the switching volume.
When somebody comes into a store to transfer their number, they have to remember that it's a two-carrier process. We're ready. We've done everything to be ready on our end, but if the other carrier isn't ready or has some issues with their systems, it could delay the process.
Now, there simply will be some numbers that cannot be switched. One industry insider says as much as 10%. There'll still be the good old problem of dropped and fading calls. Best advice is wait a few months, see which carriers are doing a good job and offering good deals. Wolf?
Good advice from Chris Huntington. Thanks, Chris, very much. Coming up, my interview with a veteran journalist known for his wit and wisdom.
Answer that question.
Find out what opinions Andy Rooney will and won't share with me. I'll give you a clue. Some of my questions he won't answer.
Some of the world's new sources of energy are close at hand, but until recently unreachable.
The Grand Banks of Newfoundland, where the Hibernia platform is located, is one of the most extreme environments in the world. It's the unique engineering design technologies that have made this platform possible.
We've made resources that were previously not recoverable.
This innovative technology will soon be used off the coast of Russia and elsewhere, giving a growing world more options.
CNN tomorrow, from the hunt for Saddam to the fight over intelligence in Iraq. I'm Wolf Blitzer. Join me with former CIA Director James Woolsey. 5 p.m.
I'm Dr. Greg Cinnamone, and no offense to casual dieters, but if you only want to lose 5 to 10 pounds, then Cortislim is not for you. Cortislim is the weight loss capsules created by my associate, Dr. Talbot, for people who are disgusted with diets and quickly want to lose 15 pounds or more. Dr. Talbot's hormone research has been featured in Ladies' Home Journal, Psychology Today, and Redbook. The conclusion? It's not your fault that you're overweight. Stress causes you to overproduce a fat-retaining hormone called cortisol, and it directs fat to be stored in cells around your tummy, thighs, and stomach. Non-prescription Cortislim controls cortisol, so you release those excess pounds. And Cortislim stifles your appetite while enhancing your metabolism, so you eat less as you burn calories and shed inches. Drop 15 to 50 pounds quickly and keep it off for life with Cortislim.
Go 1-800-407-5307. 1-800-407-5307. That's 1-800-407-5307.
Milos, where are you? This couple really needs our help. They've got some serious design issues.
We're loading up there, boss.
Hurry!
Mix It Up, a new kind of design show created by Courtney Cox. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m., only on We.
is back this month on DirecTV pay-per-view. Real street racing, real drivers, real girls, real cops, and real crashes. Don't miss Mischief Destroy, the living treasure of underground street racing across the U.S. And Mayhem Street Trucks, the real world of street truck racing, launching, and off-roading. Order Mischief Destroy and Mayhem Street Trucks for only $4.99 each. Playing this month on DirecTV pay-per-view channel 191.
CNN, the most trusted name in news.
Earlier we asked, what was Andy Rooney's first job on CBS's 60 Minutes? The answer, writer and producer. Rooney has been a writer and producer for the program since its premiere in September 1968. He became an on-air commentator 10 years later with his regular segment, A Few Minutes with Andy Rooney. And for years, millions of Americans have indeed had a standing date every Sunday night with Andy Rooney. His essays for 60 Minutes are a staple of primetime television, and now the favorites have been gathered in a new book, an illustrated collection called Years of Minutes. I talked with Andy Rooney this afternoon. Andy Rooney, thanks very much for joining us. Congratulations on the new book, Years of Minutes. It's a great, great read. We'll get to that in a moment. But on this Veterans Day, a lot of our viewers probably don't remember and don't know that you were one of the great war correspondents from World War II. What goes through your mind at the media war coverage looking back all these years?
Well, I have some great and some terrible memories of World War II, of course. But it does not haunt me in the middle of the night. I saw it. I had a great look at World War II, kind of a look that very few people had, because I could go anywhere and look at anything. There were no restrictions on correspondence then the way there is today.
Didn't we do a good job, the national news media, all of us, in covering the war in Iraq?
We don't really know, do we? It appeared at the time as though it was very good. And whether we got the whole scene or not now, of course it's easier to cover a war if you're winning it than if you're losing it or if it's a tie.
Well, this war, we did have all those journalists who were embedded with the troops on the front line. That was almost similar, except for the technology, to what you did during World War II.
Well, except we didn't win it that quickly. There was more fighting in World War II.
What's your favorite essay from all these great essays that you've compiled in this new book?
Oh, Wolf, I don't answer that question. Jesus, it's like, what was my favorite Christmas present? I have no memory of it. So I don't have a favorite.
There's no one that simply stands out and rocks you.
I don't even remember most of them.
I mean, you spend a lot of time preparing each of these essays, and you have millions of viewers watching every one. How much time do you spend normally getting one of these essays ready for 60 Minutes?
Well, if it's any good, I can write it in a couple of hours. And if it isn't any good, it takes me a couple of days.
Usually the best ones, at least from what I can tell in my own experience, when you really have something great to say, it just sort of flows right out of you.
It's a lot easier if you're sure of yourself, yes, when you have to wrench it around and keep rewriting it and doing something to it, it doesn't come out as well and you aren't as confident of it.
Do you see